compliant. What we did was we just basically took wholesale, didn't scheme through it and think, right, which are the good companies, we'll only take those ones. The 50 largest companies that are Sharia compliant on the London Stock Exchange in terms of market capitalisation. These are companies that are on the FTSE 100 and FTSE 250. Oh, can you go back? Yeah, sorry. It includes companies, well-known names, BP, Rolls-Royce, Vodafone, Shell, to name but a few. And what we did was we basically said, well, if we give all of these 50 companies an equal weighting of a theoretical investment, it gives a basket of shares. I'm not going to refer to it as an index, it is just a basket of shares to give you some form of indicative performance of how how they've performed. So if you can go on to the next slide, please. Last year, this equal weighted basket of shares grew by an aggregated value of 37.2%, in comparison to the FTSE 100 that grew by approximately 8% last year. So where did this performance come from? Well, it came from companies such as Arm Holdings, who are a technology company that develop a lot of technology for your laptops, your mobile phones. There were other companies such as New British Palm Oil. I'd never heard of them before before we started looking into this. Carphone Warehouse. Both of those two companies grew by over 100%. But Arm, its share price went from 178 pence to 423 pence by the end of the year. So there are some significantly strong performers out there. These are not Islamic companies. They are just standard UK companies that, as Richard has said, have been screened and they are Sharia compliant and accepted as being Sharia compliant. To contrast that, yes, there are some duffers in there. BP had a well-documented disastrous year last year, and there probably wasn't a day went by without someone putting their nose into it. Their share price dropped from £6 to about £4.50 throughout the year. And Cable and Wireless and a lot of the property developments companies had a bad year as well, such as Barratt Developments and Taylor Wimpey. Next slide, please. Over a 2-year period, the basket of shares has grown by over 110%. Now, once again, we're talking blue chip companies here. Now, the smart people amongst you will say, but that was the bottom of the market. That was when the crash from 2008 started recovering. Yes, that's absolutely true. But if we go on to the next slide, please. Overall, the basket of shares over a 3-year period is up by over 30%. The FTSE 100 has yet to recover to its pre-crash price from the start of 2008. So, over a longer period, you're talking about companies that are sound FTSE 100, FTSE 250 companies, Sharia compliant, that have significantly outperformed as a basket. If you go on to that. Okay. So we have performance, something that every investor is looking for. We also have companies that are recognised, that are stable companies that have significant liquidity. So they are not companies that people are going to end up buying into and then having difficulty to sell, as you would get with some of the smaller cap companies on AIM and things like that. And we also have a sector mix. And if you can click onto the next slide, the sector mix that we have, it is, broadly speaking, a pretty good sector mix. You'll see that there is one company in there, which is a financial company, and Richard's already said, we shouldn't have financial companies in there. They are a financial company that effectively specialises in the purchase of and leasing out of property. Great Portland, who have had an interesting year last year, but they are termed a financial company. Effectively, they're a property management company. And a whole range of different things. Rolls-Royce, the aerospace up there, lots of chemical, you've got quite a few pharmaceuticals, metal processors, a lot of oil, gas and related exploration companies in there as well. some of whom have done exceptionally well, some of whom, like BP, didn't have a great year last year. I'm going to skip through this fairly quickly now. So if we come on...
Should I go back?
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, so if we come on to back to the first slide, why invest? There's only one reason for investing: performance. And the Sharia-compliant equities on the London Stock Exchange have actually performed exceptionally well over the last 3 years. I haven't gone back any further than that with the data. You can transpose it further back, and I'm sure that's something that we will do. But at this stage, we have a 3-year period which shows a very, very promising opportunity. How to invest? One of the things that I've mentioned is that we've put together, with the help of the Share Centre, Sharia-compliant share trading for private investors, so that they can effectively have their account that is Sharia-compliant. We've stripped out the interest in it. We've stripped out the ability to short. We've stripped out the ability to buy stocks without actually having money in your account, so that what you end up with is a Sharia-compliant share trading or stockbroking account. What to invest in? Well, with the help of Amiri, we have the list of what to invest in, and that's something from Sharia, from UMEX Securities, we are able to talk to people about through the share trading platform, which I know Selvan is very keen to talk about next. Thanks very much for your time, and sorry to whiz through it quite as quickly as all of that. Has anyone got any questions? Yes.
Is that my understanding correct that armament, etc., is excluded from the sharing compliant universe?
Sorry, that
Armament.
Richard's probably the better person to yes, the weapons manufacturer would normally, but you're going to say Rolls-Royce, are you? Rolls-Royce Aerospace. Richard, is that something? I don't know what percentage of their business is defence as opposed to civil aviation.
It may be just a threshold point, and maybe a relatively small amount of their business activities.
I'm not the specialist on that one, I'm afraid. So, yeah, but that, as my colleagues just said, for the defence of the state, well, that's not something that I would get involved in. Amiri passes the list, and that's something that we've looked at and we've gone with that. So, any other questions? Thank you very much for your time.
Board has come to the last presentation of the evening, and you can see also how it's concluding. We had a fund structure in place first, and we saw how the equities are screened that can go into the fund structure. Simon talked about the reason why anybody would be interested in investing in that space. It has to make sense from an investor's point of view. And now we come to the last presentation, where we show how you can easily do it. It's a downloadable, plug-and-play application. I won't go into too much detail because that's an area that Selvan specializes in, and Selvan, can you go ahead and present?
Yep, great. Thanks very much. My name's Salman Saham, the CEO of UMEX Trader. UMEX Securities even, which owns UMEX Trader. But I just thought I know where I work. I just thought I'll bring your attention to some of the people in the room. I don't know if everyone's here as yet, but we'll get to the canopies quicker if at least 10 of you sign up to my platform. So we'll get that quick. Yeah. Okay, so UMEX Securities belongs to a much larger group of companies called UMEX Capital Markets Group, and actually the closing notes will be from our chairman straight after me. The group's capabilities, using our partners and our networks and our associates, we are able to do everything you've heard today and beyond that continuum. So, for example, Professor Humayun Dar spoke about the actual screening process. Amiri are able to package that. We use Amiri's screening process. We go a step beyond that and enable you to trade that on a trading platform. But beyond that, our group have the capabilities, as I say, using our associates to put together funds, to potentially distribute funds, to look at consultancy work for you to actually build various special vehicles and so on, and investment structures. So within the group, we certainly do have lots of partners, and we're growing our partnership models. So I said this the last time when I presented, and we had lots of interested parties. And I'll say it again: I'd certainly invite all of you to come and speak with any member of the UMEX team, be it whether you're in legal services, be it whether you're in accountancy or you're an auditor. The chances are we will either be able to do some work for you, or you will be able to do some work for us. But certainly we could form some sort of symbiotic relationship where we could try and coexist and grow together in this space. But again, Canopy is awaiting. So my focus today is to present to you the product that brings everything that we've spoken about together, the UMEX Trader, which enables trading in Sharia compliant shares. So what do we have? We have a trading platform, a professional trading platform, where you are able to see live prices. It integrates news, research, financial data, and everything that is pre-screened that that arrives to us from Amiri. And this platform enables you to trade in real time in the market, so you have direct market access. And as I say, we've designed and we have inherited from our partners a professional trading platform. So we're not speaking about a platform in which, which is third party, and so the process is driven through third party servers. We are direct to market. Our execution times are around the sort of below 10 millisecond sort of time. So a professional trading platform. So we have inherited Amiri's screening services, and so we have the same 40,000 stocks from around the world that are screened every month. So the 40,000 stocks, this covers 95% of the capitalization of the main market companies listed from around the world. Out of that, every month, around 10,000, and it differs, of course, but about 10,000 stocks we make available on our trading platform. What that means is, if you, let's imagine without our trading platform, you could engage, as Richard pointed out, you could engage either a private consultant, or you could have your own share screening service in-house, which is not very cost effective, but you could certainly have that, where you would engage them every time you had an investment opportunity or an idea. So you would have a communication back and forth. Let's imagine you've come in, you rather fancy buying shares in British Petroleum. You would go to your investment board or your Sharia board. They would research the company, come back to you with a yes or a no, and based on that, you would then go into the market. If it's a yes, you would go into the market and you'd express that trade. That time lag, if it's a few minutes, great. If it's a few hours, not so good. The likelihood is it's likely to be a few days. And so just to get that binary decision, whether you can buy or sell, buy or not, whether it's Sharia compliant or repugnant, in that time, the whole universe will change. What our trading platform enables you to do is everything on our trading platform is Sharia compliant. If you see it, you can press buy, you've bought it there and then. You're not waiting for the world to change whilst your Sharia board need to make that decision. Now, this is not taking away the services that Amiri and Professor Dar and several other people in our industry offer. We have these 10,000 Sharia compliant stocks every month. However, the likes of Rolls-Royce, and there are several other companies, may raise questions, and you may have a slightly different investment mandate to the rules that we are following, in which case you obviously do need to engage the likes of Professor Darwin and other consultancy companies who would come in and look at your investment mandate versus what we have and possibly make the adjustments necessary. But for most instances where you need to trade a Sharia compliant stock, we have the product. Yeah. So what do we provide? As I say, unlimited or unrivaled access to Sharia compliant investment universe.